Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. I'm going to throw a little bit on the Iowa caucuses. Iowa caucuses, the voting starts on January 15th, if I've read my article correctly. And it is. Okay, cool. Nice to have short-term memory working for me here. And looking at the energy coming up to that, we got 9 days. There was recently a school shooting in Perry, Iowa. I did a reading on that a couple days ago. And a couple of the Republican presidential candidates spoke out on that. And I was saying that that's one of these issues. It's kind of interesting how spirit works things. You have this mass shooting just when all the Republicans who have been fighting common sense gun laws are all descending or are currently in Iowa campaigning. What an opportunity to send a message to those candidates to maybe put in some common sense gun laws, right? Well, Trump finally discussed his position on it on Friday. He was at a campaign rally, and he was offering sympathy and emotional support for the victims of the shooting in Perry, Iowa, and their families. And I watched a video clip of it because a viewer pointed out to me what he said. This is the quote from the article I've got here. "It's just horrible. So surprising to see it here. But we have to get over it. We have to move forward." Now, it sounds awful with that one. But here's the thing. He had offered, for like 30 seconds before that, he had offered his sympathies to folks in Iowa and such. He said it's such a tragic event. Hard to believe it could happen here. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then we get to this quote. "We have to move forward." And he offered sympathy one more time, and then he started thanking prominent people for showing up. So when he said we have to move forward, we have to get over it and move forward, it was like he was forced to talk about this event for a minute of his life and show fake empathy, because he doesn't have real empathy. He had to fake being empathetic for a minute. And then the truth came out. The elephant in the room came out. It's like, okay, we have to move forward. He didn't mean move forward as a society to address the problem or something like that. It's we have to get over it. We have to move forward because I have a campaign to run, and now I want to thank these people that came out and gave me a bunch of money. And nobody's reporting on it. They're reporting on it like he's telling the Iowans that they need to get over their feelings and move forward. That's not what he was doing. He was basically saying at his rally, okay, I've done the minimum required that you asked me to. Now I have to move on with this campaign rally. We can't just sit here dwelling about your hurt feelings because, frankly, I don't care. So let's look, shall we? Two things. One, I'm going to look at Donald Trump's energy as he was saying that statement and see if I'm right, and I think I am. And then two, I want to look again to see, now that Trump has spoken out in Iowa, and it's basically people are saying, you just told a bunch of Iowans to get over the fact that people got shot. Is that going to impact their reaction to him? Okay. First off, Trump's energy with regards to the get over it. Is this because he was forced to talk about Iowans and show fake empathy instead of talking about himself, which is what he wanted to do? King of Wands. Yeah, he was. He had to show that leadership thing that he was. I got to show that I'm caring man of action type stuff. But he's foolish. He's an idiot. Even when he's trying to present like he cares about somebody or something, he walks right off the cliff. He probably didn't even know what he said and why he said it and why people might take offense to it. Yep, because there's a campaign to run and I'm running it and I did what I was told to do, and now I'm free to do whatever it is that I really want to do. In the past, Five of Pentacles, he doesn't care about people. He doesn't care at all. He cares about the money, but he doesn't care about the people. which is why he's got no empathy. Now, again, this empathy is something that you learn over time, and he's got narcissism. And narcissism, one of the traits is that they cannot show empathy for others. They can't put themselves in somebody else's shoes. But narcissism is learned. He learned that from his folks. He doesn't understand people. It's not transactional. Why are they so upset? They didn't get shot and killed. Current situation is justice. Okay, I think the justice card here is that people in Iowa are now getting to see just a little bit of what Donald Trump is. And I think they want justice for what happened, because nobody won. In this shooting, nobody won. And there's no justice in it, The people who are dead are dead. The people who are injured. The shooter is dead, and there's no repercussion for it. It could also very well be that Donald Trump right now, he doesn't care about people. He's focused on the Justice Department. He's trying to get elected, and he's all focused on this, and he can't. It's hard for him to fake empathy here. Oh, God. Overarching is the Eight of Cups. Walking away. Oh, he alienated some folks. I don't know how many, but his callousness in his words. The MAGA folks will never walk away. But there are some conservatives that after he talked about this injustice, they're going to walk away from him because they cannot believe. It's like, he was sounding so good, and then he told them to get over it. And they're going to just sort of stop, what? That's something like those Marxist Democrats would tell us. Those heartless BLM people. I can't believe our Lord God and Savior, Donald Trump, would tell us to do this. And, there's a Ron DeSantis. There's a Nikki Haley. There's a Chris Christie. There's a Vivek Ramaswamy that they can support. I think he drove away some people. I don't think it's enough for him to lose the Iowa caucuses, but this is going to cause some people to move away from Team Trump there. Lesson to be learned is the hermit. They're starting to see. Some people are starting to see. He kind of let things slip, and it illuminated briefly people to see what was going on. And they had to be in an emotionally vulnerable position in order to see it. It had to hurt. It had to sting. It had to hurt. It had to sting. That sword had to poke them in a soft spot where they're not used to being poked by somebody doing the poking. They constantly forgive this man. They constantly make up excuses. But when they're hurting and he's just, get over it, we got to move forward. The thoughts and prayers aren't even cold yet. That's a departure from the normal Republican denialism when it comes to gun violence. They're seeing him for who he is. And there's going to be some strong reaction to it. I mentioned to you that I thought young people might come out and start challenging the GOP candidates. Well, the caucuses start soon enough. We'll find out how that goes. But there's a lot of raw feelings, especially in Perry, Iowa. But Iowa itself isn't an overly populous state. Thus, what could happen in Perry could happen anywhere. And people in the rural communities will feel that. Trump's going to keep just grinding on his campaign. I'm sure he will win the Iowa caucuses, but he may not win it by as much as he might have otherwise because of this. And again, I don't see other news networks covering it the way I interpreted it. And that's kind of the danger of when you read the text and then you start hearing their opinions. I like to go back and actually hear the clip to try and figure out what he was trying to say and trying to do. And I really think if you listen to it, I'll see if I can go dig out a link and throw it in the description here. If you actually listen to what he's talking about, he's going through his, his condolences, but, then he kind of is like, well, we got to move on. We got, we can't just dwell on this. Let's move on. And then he starts literally 10 seconds later, starts introducing all these wonderful people that invited him and donated money to him. He had to have been coached and told he had to say his condolences to these people. And he didn't want to do it because who are they? He doesn't care who got shot and killed. It doesn't. Those aren't those people not voting for him. Why does he care? Jesus. Pausing. Unpausing. Sorry, just looking to see if there's anything else in this article I wanted to read on. I'll just throw a little quick four-carter. Will Trump carry Iowa? Actually, what I want to know is, will Trump lose support in Iowa because of the, I want to say outrage, because of the, as this information gets out, or will it get out, will he lose support in Iowa? That's the problem. Right-wing media probably won't cover this. Hopefully local Iowa news will cover that. King of Swords. Were you already at Jack Smith here? Will he lose support? Will he lose support? If Iowa looks at it, this is kind of a disastrous thing that he had said. He comes across as emotionless, even though the folks there love him for his emotion and passion here. We have a tower moment, and I don't think this is the Jack. Oh, that's my Jack Smith card. I think this is Iowa. This is just that. Think of that no-nonsense, rural assessment of somebody and their character. And them having to be strong right now because of the tragedy that's happened. We have to be strong. We have to get over it and move forward, as the case may be. But there's this tower moment here. God, what am I seeing? Iowa needs to make a choice. Did he lose? I think he's going to lose support from Iowans because of it. Backroom negotiations, the Emperor. No, he might lose some support. He's still going to carry Iowa. They still view him as the king. And even though this should be an undoing moment, this is just a gaffe. There's still a lot of backroom support for it. And I guess Iowans like a dictator who presents strength. He's still carrying Iowa. I thought maybe there would be some backlash on it. I'm not seeing it. I mean, that tower would look like something should happen, and maybe it's chipping away at. Maybe that's what it is. It's chipping away at his strength. Trump presents strength, but then you have this tower moment right underneath it. Some tragedy strikes there, and there's the Three of Pentacles of people supporting each other and such during that, and Trump wasn't there. Trump wasn't there. A little four-carter. Does Trump carry Iowa? Does Trump carry the Iowa caucuses? Well, this card wants to stay on top, so on top it goes. These first couple. There's that agreement. Yep, he's going to carry it. Despite that, there's that tower card again. Despite himself, Um, I think. Well, does he carry it? I want to say yes, he does. But this could be Iowans starting to look at other candidates because of the tragedy that happened there. You know, it really rocked their happy little world. And, you know, Iowans, let's just say that they're all for common sense type stuff. And Trump's words or his lack of empathy is being noticed. You know, people are kind of cocking their head, just kind of like, you know, really? And there's going to be some gossiping. Picture, if you will, you know, gossiping, and they're like, did you hear what he said about that? He says he told people how to get over it. And they'd be like, no, President Trump would never say that. Then, well, he did. Look. And, you know, maybe present something. It's like, I heard it. I saw him. He said we had to get over it and move on. And they'll be like, what? Well, why would he say such a thing? You know, he's President Trump. He's supposed to be for us. Like, yeah, but he told us we needed to get over it. And, you know, that's kind of rude, don't you think? You know, Ron DeSantis said this, and Nikki Haley said that. Why is Trump saying this? And it's going to just leave a little bit of a bad taste in people's mouth. I still think he'll carry the caucuses. I think he's got such a big lead there, but I do think it's going to undermine some of the support he's got. The man opens his mouth and he sticks his foot right in it. If they were king, if they had that King of Swords energy, they would recognize it for what it is. That he didn't want to apologize. He didn't even want to talk about it. That, plain and simple, he didn't want to talk about it. If they can come to that conclusion, that would make a bigger difference in Iowa. If they just realize he doesn't care. He was forced to do it. I don't think he'll be able to get through the cult of MAGA and stuff like that and the furious support that he gets. But I think some people might actually see through that. We'll see. Anyways, thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for all your kind words and your likes and everything you do to help defeat the YouTube algorithm so that my video makes it out to a wider audience. To new viewers to the channel or folks discovering me recently, welcome to the channel. Glad you found us. Hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.